Hey there, and welcome to the Middle Child Podcast. If you've decided to listen in, thank you. And if you've stumbled upon it, well, get ready. We are two besties manifesting and are here for those on their manifestation journey that are looking for some guidance, inspiration, and business tips with a touch of humor in all things universe. Our goal is to be experts in manifesting investing, with our biggest investment being you. So go grab your manifestie and buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Middle Child Podcast. My name is Jasmine Rivera.
And my name is Shelly.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We are feeling fancy today.
Fancy.
So we are actually doing another Zoom podcast, but we got some fancy equipment. We got the Blue Yetis, so you'll notice a big difference from last podcast to this. So making some changes there. Shelly's still in her gamer headphones.
I did. Hey, in the very end, we got all these cool new Yeti stuff because we realized that the last one was so fuzzy. It was, hey, this is just a part of it. We told you guys we're bringing you along, and now we know, doing a Zoom meeting podcast using your laptop speaker computer is not okay. So invest in a Yeti or something else, because normally we use the H4n or something like that, but when we're together, we had to figure out something else that worked remotely, and just using your laptop does not work remotely.
Note to self. So we don't have mimosas in our hands. It feels kind of weird. So can I tell you what I did this morning?
What?
And you would totally be like, that was such a Jasmine move.
Okay.
I set my Keurig, everything set to go. I forgot the cup. So I'm trying to multitask. I'm cooking my eggs, hurrying up. And I'm like, okay, so I did everything. What the hell? Where's my coffee at? I'm very confused. And it took me a good 30 seconds. And I was like, oh, gosh. And I saw the coffee spilled everywhere. So I made my coffee. It was just all over the kitchen counter.
So that's why the minute we started Zooming, before we started recording, she was like, God, I need a hug and a drink. I get it now. I get it. This is why we normally drink when we do this together, because the stress of the day, or the stress of spilling your coffee everywhere,
Right? The stress of forgetting to put a cup under your Keurig. Hashtag first world problems.
Right.
So again, thanks for joining us. So we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit, kind of break it down more on just the terms of what is manifesting, what is the law of attraction, because I think, and I'm familiar obviously with it now, but I never realized that I was actually putting manifesting into work, into action, until, a few years ago, when one of my friends really introduced it to me. And so even now, and Shelly, you can attest to this, that we still get questions on oh, what's your podcast on? What's manifesting?
Oh, manifesting.
Yeah, what's manifesting about? So
even whenever you try and break it down, whenever you're like, oh yeah, it's manifesting, and you use all these quote unquote manifesting words, it's still kind of, you're like, oh, it still doesn't make sense unless you kind of understand even the verbiage within the verbiage, right?
Right, exactly. So what we did is put together the verbiage so you can understand the verbiage a little bit more. And
it's just your basic, it's your first vocabulary words to manifesting 101 kind of deal. Just something that, whether you listen to our podcast, you listen to someone who's brand new, or somebody who's been in the manifesting world forever and ever, you do pick up some words, because some things that might define in Webster's dictionary as one thing, in the manifesting world, it's kind of interpreted differently. So we just thought it would be nice to put put this together for you guys a little bit to kind of like when you hear us say certain words or cues or whatever, what it means in the manifesting world, just not if you pop open a dictionary world.
Right. And these are terms too that we're still learning on. You know, in some of the books that we have read, yeah, I mean, you'll notice that there's a trend and that, you know, no matter what book you pick up, if it's something, you know, Jensen Chiro, you're a badass, girl, stop apologizing. I mean, there's just different references, but they all kind of tie in together. So there's definitely terms here that we're still becoming familiar with. And just like Shelly had mentioned, you know, there is definitions with Webster's dictionary of what, you know, manifesting is or the law of attraction. But really, we dug in deep and wanted to look at the definitions that, you know, really resonated with us and what essentially it meant for us. So I think with that, I think we can go ahead and get started.
Yep.
So first things first, you've heard of, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with The Secret. That kind of, to me,
I think it's what sparked it for me the first initially. And I think it's also one of those like it's one part of the whole manifesting, but I think it's like one of the biggest parts so far.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So basically,
did we say what it was?
No. You.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's because I can read what she's about to say, like what we were talking about, and my mind was already. I was already there, guys. Sorry,
Hi, Shelly.
Jasmine.
Welcome to our podcast. Thank you for joining.
Go make some coffee, Jasmine.
I will. I'll put a cup in there this time.
Sorry.
Anyway, so definition, law of attraction. So it's the attractive magnetic power of the universe that manifests through everyone and through everything. So really, it's the belief that positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences into a person's life. So really, it's a belief based on the ideas that people and their thoughts are made of pure energy, and that a process of like energy attracting like energy exists through which a person can improve their health, wealth, and personal relationships. So really, when you think of your thoughts are a magnet. So like attracts like. So have you ever noticed it can, you know, I mean, oh my gosh, so many times I can attest to this too, is, you know, if you're going to be late for work, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. And then you hit every single stop sign. You know, there happens to be, you know, you're going through a school zone and it's a 50, you know, everything, just presents itself on your way to work just because you have that idea. So it can work in the negative way or in a positive way. Like
it's legitimately a magnet.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
If you're putting out positive vibes, then you're getting back positive things. If you're putting out negative vibes, which is your thought, the vibe is like your thought, right? If you're putting out positive or negative ones, you get it back. And that's like the simplified way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
exactly.
how you would? Sorry, I'm like, okay, Shelly, back up.
Oh, no.
Add in. I'm already on like definition 4 over here. No, just making sure I'm adding in at the right time.
Yeah. No. So that's what I feel like law of attraction. It's pretty much sums up. Obviously, we gave you the definition for it, but really it's just positive attracts positive, negative thoughts attract more negative. So sometimes it's hard, you know, to really shift your way of thinking, whether, you know, you've had a negative self-image about yourself, then you continue to attract that. And so I mean, it's definitely a process that, you know, I and you too, Shelly, work on every single day and working on changing those negative thoughts into positive ones. So with that, let's take it over to manifesting.
Okay, so manifesting is readily perceived by the eye or the understanding, evident, obvious, apparent, and plain. So that's just like your basic Webster's dictionary kind of definition of it. But the cool thing is when I found the second definition, it says psychoanalysis. So that has to deal with like things of the brain and how we analyze it. And this is a better definition. It's of or relating to conscious feelings, ideas, and impulses that contain repressed psychic material. Not psychic like as in you can see into the future, but psychic as in you can see into the future to the degree of like you're creating your own future by envisioning what you want. You know what I mean? So it's so hard sometimes to put that stuff into word, but that's what manifesting is. It's literally like using we'll get into this definition in a second, but like using your feelings, positive thoughts, positive ideas and impulses. And what it's sending it out into the world, the whole law of attraction, and that's where it comes back. It contains the repressed psychic material, which, like I said, it's not like, oh, Brenda, I see your future, but it's for yourself. Positive vibes, sending out, I'm going to have a bomb-ass body. I'm going to get good grades. Like you're kind of being a psychic for yourself by sending out all of the positiveness, all of the good thoughts, the good things. Do you have any, like, how do I add to that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's envisioning and actualizing, you at the beach or a trip or a vacation or whatever it is. Have you, the best kind of example I can give is, if you're looking for, like, if you're in the market for a car and so you're interested in Jeep Cherokees, right? And you never really notice Jeep Cherokees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you start to really think about Jeep Cherokees, then you start to see them all over the place. And so I think it's a matter of actualizing and really thinking about what you want. And then the universe wants.
It becomes like tunnel vision for
Yes,
you. It's
exactly.
not even tunnel vision. It becomes like tunnel life, right?
Right, exactly. So really it's thinking of what you want and thinking futuristically because you don't have it at this particular moment. But you're doing anything and everything to think about those thoughts and things start to show up for you that will get you to that destination, that will get you to, what your end goal is. If it's a matter, and I reference losing weight because I'm in the process of, trying to
you skinny batch you.
I'm in the process of being hot body, or what is it? Hot summer?
Hot girl summer.
There we go. Hot girl summer. But I'm manifesting a bikini body. I'm manifesting being at the pool. And there's just certain opportunities that have come up, with this certain gym classes and everything. So,
but even with that, just on a side note, one day we'll talk about this, but they even talk about like manifesting like physical things. Like, yes, you can eat healthy in this, but like you start seeing yourself weighing 150 pounds and don't really change anything or don't do this, or you see yourself with clear face, like no acne or whatever, like, all of that. It's not just your future getting a good grade or the job you want. I mean, everything that we've seen so far, and even little things that like we can touch up on one day, you can manifest physically as well, like on yourself if you want. Like, I don't know if you could grow like a sixth toe, but I mean, y'all try and let us know. But anyway, sorry. But I hope that's a good understanding of what actual manifesting is. But, okay, so we'll go on. So the next one is something we talk a lot about, or we say the universe. Now, really, we're not going to touch on this one for too long because more than anything, the universe is just a simplified way of saying it's a made up source of energy. Like, it's made up of source of energy, not a made up. So the thing is, like, here, we don't ever want to get like political or religious or this or that. We just want to talk about manifesting. We want to talk about where we are. So we use universe as a catch-all. So whether you believe in God, Buddha, Allah, you believe in nobody or this or whatever it is, we just use the universe as how you want to interpret it. So if we say, ask the universe, if to you that's asking God or asking Buddha or asking that, it's whoever you want. Or if you don't believe in a God like that, then the universe or little microns and atoms or whatever you feel best with. So the universe is just like a very PC way of saying whatever it is you believe in that you call upon to ask and who you use for guidance. Would you consider that a good definition? So it's the universe is what you want to be, that is your source energy from where you're pulling, where you're praying, where you're asking, where you're putting out your positive vibes.
Right. And all energy vibrates at a certain frequency. So when you're running at a high frequency, then you start to attract high frequency vibes, right?
Yeah.
And so really vibration attracts like vibration. So really the universe is made up of energy with all different types of frequencies.
Like down to like, if you watch The Secret, they explain it. They're like down to like a molecular level. We are nothing but little balls of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the universe, it's your energy, it's whatever it is that you choose to interpret the universe is. It's your source of energy.
Right. And Shelly, you're like a giant, massive ball of energy.
Depending on the day. Depending on the day. But I drink my coffee.
Okay.
It actually makes it.
Y'all, I made the mistake of making one little coffee mishap, and she'll probably.
You will never live it down.
I will never live that shit down. Okay, moving on. Okay, so we have the subconscious.
I knew you were going to say that. She has been messing up. She's like, why can't I say conscious? Wait, subconscious.
Yeah, like,
she's like, I keep saying conscience.
Yeah, it's my accent. I don't know. I literally cannot say subconscious.
Wait, now I can't say it. You're subconscious.
Subconscious.
But the sub part is easy to say. It's the conscious part. That's the hard one.
Subconscious. Oh gosh. Okay,
Anywho.
so we have the
your subconscious and your conscious.
Yeah, so the subconscious is the executor. And so listening to Catherine Zenkina, she actually talked about the subconscious being the executor and then the conscience being the commander. I'm like, mind blown. So have you ever seen the picture of success when it's just like this giant iceberg?
Yeah.
It's this giant iceberg, and then you only see the tip of the iceberg, but down below it's this massive, it's just massively deep. And so, I mean, you can reference it in a lot of
that's why they literally say, that's just like the tip of the iceberg, because the iceberg is actually this ginormous like mountain under the ocean, to like an upside down mountain under the ocean.
Right.
Is that a good visual?
Sure, we'll go with it.
Hey.
Yeah. So picture this upside down, mountain in the ocean. Your subconscious is what's in the ocean, and the tip of the iceberg is your conscience. So that's how crazy your subconscious really. Gosh, she's laughing at me.
I think you said conscience again.
Jeez Louise. Okay,
It's
well,
okay.
y'all. Okay, well,
y'all
anyways,
know what she means.
You know what I mean. So
it's her El Paso accent.
So definition for subconscious. Did I say it right?
Subconscious.
You
would add an N.
Gosh.
Subconscious. See, now I can't say. Okay, we can just say like sub and con or whatever, guys. But you know what she means.
Okay, so the subconscious mind essentially works as the storage bank of your awareness, except it sees and stores things you don't even consciously register, and it never shuts off. Gosh dang it. Let's try that again. Okay, so the subconscious mind essentially works at the storage bank of your awareness, except it sees and stores things you don't even consciously.
Okay. The subconscious mind essentially works as the storage bank of your awareness, except it sees and stores things you don't even consciously register, and it never shuts off. The part of your mind that notices and remembers information when you are not actively trying to do so and influences your behavior even though you do not realize it. So now, Jasmine, if you need me to step in and say the word for you, I will.
Oh, gosh. So really, the solution to positive development is to control what passes into your subconscious mind and what
I don't know if we're going to be able to finish this. Dude, like literally two of the most important words of
Should
manifesting.
We start over?
No.
Gosh,
because this
damn
is
it.
hilarious. But two of the most important words, I think it's just because now you know. And like your brain, now subconsciously, your brain's like, nope. Your brain's like, nope. Screw you, Jasmine. You're going to say it wrong the whole time.
We ain't saying that shit.
But honestly, you're probably manifesting that right now because you're like, I'm going to say it wrong. As you're saying it, you're like, I'm going to say it wrong. I'm going to say it wrong. Wrong.
Seriously.
It's okay. Keep going. You got it. Power through.
Power through. Okay, so the solution to positive development is to control what passes into your subconscious mind and what thoughts you create. So you can control what information, thoughts, and visions enter your subconscious mind through your conscious mind. So whatever your conscious mind believes and accepts is impressed into your subconscious mind. So therefore, if you want to control your subconscious mind, it begins with awareness of what is assessing the mind from your environment, which is, to me, crazy. And this really hit home. So I think the major problem is that people are aware of their conscious beliefs and behaviors, but subconsciously, but not of their subconscious beliefs and behaviors. And so I think the perfect example, and I've referenced this before, but, I wanted love, I wanted a relationship, but it took me some time to figure out that subconsciously, I didn't feel like I could attract a long-term relationship. And so really what I had to do is shift my thoughts and really be aware of subconsciously what I was believing and really shift that. So I think, sorry, not we, sorry, I'm bringing you along with me, Shelly. These damn pronunciations got me.
Yes. Well, literally, we kind of have a template like now to stay on track to a degree, and literally it says insert example. I wish we were recording already so I could be like, example inserted, subconscious and conscious.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Oh, gosh. But
I was having to hide behind my mic so she couldn't see me laughing.
I know. Thank you. But really, I think the subconscious and conscience is so important because people aren't aware how much the subconscious mind is at play. So it's a million times more powerful than the conscious mind, and that we operate 95 to 99% of our lives from subconscious programs. So this is, even ideas of what you were exposed to as a little kid, has so much play into your beliefs in what you think of now. So,
I mean, if you just take the time to reflect on how many things you've literally said, even kind of kidding, but being honest, like you've been like, oh, I guess subconsciously, it's crazy. Like, I'm going to go to the store. I have to go to the store for milk or whatever. But like, inside in my head, I guess somewhere deep inside, I'm like, oh man, or maybe I said to myself, I want an ice cream. I don't know. Right. So you're like, I'm going to the store for milk. I'm going to the store for milk. And you go through, you do everything you have to do. And you walk out with ice cream and you forget the milk. You're like, dang, I guess subconsciously I'm just hungry, as much as it's a joke, like it's a real thing, so you've probably done it. You've probably been typing or doing your homework or something and the radio's on, and then subconsciously you're listening to the radio and somehow or another you're like typing the lyrics to WAP to your boss, and you're like, whoa, better turn that off because subconsciously I was listening to that. So but beyond, those are just small examples, but beyond that, like consciously and subconsciously, like you do that in your everyday life. You've done stuff from the time you were a child to things you were taught to who you are now. So it is possible to change your subconscious, but you have to consciously make decisions to do that so that like it said, like Jasmine had said, your conscious is your commander and your subconscious is the executor. So if this is a real big long thing for you, if you have to like go back and think about it, be like, okay, my conscious, the thing that I think of right now, it yes, I'm trying to tell my subconscious that, but your subconscious is the one that actually is like, nope, this is what we're doing, or this is how we're living, or this is the day that we're having. So, it's sometimes kind of hard, I think, to wrap your head around, and that sounds, it sounds bad even coming from us trying to explain it to you, but like just if just a suggestion, like go through your everyday life. Like Jasmine brought up being late to work. Like when you're late to work, don't sit there and be like, oh my God, I'm late, I'm running late, because then you'll notice, oh my God, I've run behind every slow car, every red light or whatever. Try to consciously change your mind and say, it doesn't matter how fast I go right now. I definitely don't want to get into an accident. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. I'm going to get there just fine. And you'll notice that your drive is easier, your stress level's easier, so on and so forth. I mean, hell, that's literally how I got through Sedona. If I hadn't been manifesting, I'd have probably had to burn the airport to the ground, because otherwise, if I didn't keep a positive outlook, then I don't know how much more positive that would have been, So it's just a conscious thing you have to do. And then your subconscious is the one that's like, nope, this is what we're doing. So consciously try to stay positive so your subconscious stays positive with you. Anyways, that was a long definition and it was hilarious. But
yes. So let's talk about gratitude. So
gratitude.
Yeah. So gratitude is the precursor to manifesting. So gratitude and manifesting go together like milk and cookies, like peanut butter and jelly, like
coffee and creamer, except no coffee for Jasmine.
I know. Just leave it on my counter. So yeah, they go together like milk and cookies. Jeez Louise. So being grateful. So if you're grateful, you attract the things that make you feel grateful. Gratitude can be channeled from life's simple blessings to manifest complete abundance in your life. So, I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but I think it's when something is taken okay, for instance, when you're sick, right? You kind of take for granted being healthy, just waking up and feeling normal, right? And it's those little simple pleasures that when they're taken away, maybe temporarily, hopefully not permanently, but if you wake up with a sore throat, you're like, oh, I feel like crap. And so you get through that sickness and finally you're better. You're like, oh, I'm so grateful. I feel so good. I'm so grateful for my health and stuff. So it's just those minor little things that, that we...
Or the days like you're joking if a coworker's homesick, you're like, oh, I wish I was homesick. Like, kidding like out loud. And then when you actually are, you're like, F this noise. This sucks. Like, I don't know why I even joked about it. Even though you're joking, you realize you're like, when you're better, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be at work piled under this paperwork. It's the best thing ever.
Right, exactly. And so like if your job, if you were to, lose your job or something like that, well, you become, oh man, I should have been more grateful. And so I think gratitude, like they say, is the precursor for manifesting, because really the law of attraction works in terms of energetic frequencies, and gratitude is considered the highest frequency we can possibly emit. So there's this quote, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. And that's by Eckhart Tolle, I think is who it is. And when you're giving thanks, you're just operating at a higher frequency. And so the universe wants to give you more.
So I have to add on to that just a quick thing, because for me, obviously, every time I was like, okay, like I gotta, it sounds weird to say, like, whenever you're trying to, and this will kind of go into the next like few little, the next couple definitions I think that we have are more of, what did I say? They're just tools you use in manifesting, right? They're more of like, they're more in tools of manifesting. So this is what I was going to say, that one of our next definitions is a token, right? So a token is something, normally whenever you think, it's not like a token you put into a game. It's like a token that reminds you. So I use one to be grateful, right? To remind myself to be grateful. And something that I heard in a podcast or read or something, like, of course, the first thing, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my health or whatever. But somebody was like, obviously, we all know you're grateful for that, because at some point you're like, how often can I grab this token and be like, I'm grateful for my family? And obviously you're grateful for them every day. But it's like, even get down to the minimal things. Like, I'm so grateful there's a Chick-fil-A because I did not feel like cooking dinner today. Or I'm so grateful I was about to use a terrible example, and I'm not about to put that all over the internet. No, but whatever it is, as simple as like, I'm so grateful that Sam's came out with these beautiful furry blankets. I have like 12 of them because why not? Like, I'm just so just things that make me happy. And so just don't think it has to be these big, grandiose, like, kind of things. It can be like, I'm grateful for my curtains. Like, whatever it is, whatever it is, it's never too big or too small, but having like a little token to remind you every time you see that little token of no matter what you're doing is always a great thing to look at and remind yourself to be grateful.
Right. And I think the mind's natural default setting is to focus on the things that we don't have, right?
Yeah.
And so manifesting can sneakily feed the mind's lack mode. So I think practicing daily gratitude rewires the brain's default, resetting it to one of abundance rather than lack. And you see this, I mean, in probably every self-help book that I've read. It's all about showing gratitude and giving thanks, because really, when you give thanks, it moves us into a state of abundance and receiving, and it reminds us of just how much we really do have. Our health, the cars that we drive. I mean, the car that we drive, right? Our pets. I'm so grateful I have the means to go out to eat tonight. That sort of thing.
Yeah, and anything, whatever makes you happy, be grateful for it. Anything, the simplest, smallest thing or the biggest thing. But
right.
Okay.
So the next one is faith. I love this one. So really, what faith is, it's complete trust or confidence in someone or something, the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. And essentially that is what faith, you have to have faith in order to manifest. You have to have faith, even though you can't see it, that it's coming. We can't see the air that we breathe, but we know it's there, right?
Yeah.
And so just having faith and just knowing that it's on its way, especially it's having faith in the unseen. It's not in fruition at this current moment, but here in the next 6 months, you're whatever it is that you're manifesting, you're having that faith and applying it, knowing that it's on its way. You don't know how it's gonna come, but you have faith that the right people, the right circumstances, the right situation is gonna present itself to get you closer and closer to what it is that you're actually manifesting.
And I think in the whole manifesting in general right now, it's the biggest thing is obviously just have faith in yourself. In the very end, whatever it is you want, have faith in yourself that you are going to achieve it somehow, some way. Okay, right. So the next one, we talked about it a little bit in the last podcast, so we really don't have to hit it that hard. It's affirmations. It's saying things out loud. It's you want to get a good grade, you want to get a promotion, you want to, lose 5 pounds or whatever. It's literally like in times of doubt, when your conscience is telling you like, oh, like we talked about the grades earlier, like, oh man, I should have studied. I'm not going to get I'm afraid I'm going to fail this test. Instead, it's literally saying out loud, if you can, as silly as it feels, or in your head saying, no, I am going to get an A. No, not I'm going to. You say, I am getting an A. I am getting an A. I am getting an A. And just telling yourself kind of like fake it till you make it, fake it till you feel it and believe it kind of deal. So that's pretty like self-explanatory, saying out loud what you are, not what you're going to do or whatever, but what you, I am, I are. So I sound like whatever that song with Will I Am,
Will I
is that
Am?
right? Yeah. But anyways,
yeah, it really is just a declaration of a goal you want to accomplish, a task you want to carry out, or a situation you wish to change. So many I ams. I am articulate. I am confident. I'm a badass. I I'm great at making coffee. Whatever. Hey, I jabbed at myself. But yeah, you guys get the gist.
I was coming for you if you weren't.
I know. I did it for you. You're welcome, Shelly. The next one is imagination. You think about when you're a child where anything is possible. There's no restrictions. There's no restraints. Think of what you wanted to be. I wanted to be an astronaut. Hey, which I still can, but it was just this limitless world of possibilities in their imagination. And so I think imagination is more important than knowledge, and knowledge is limited, and imagination encircles the world, and really logic will take you from A to B and really restrains you. But imagination can take you anywhere, take you to Mars. It can take you to wanting to be a dinosaur when you grow up. So,
Dude,
little kids.
I think the best example, like just like check and done, would be, remember, at least our age and older, when your teacher would be like, you're not just going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket. Lies. What's his name? Steve. Oh my gosh.
Steve Jobs.
Yes. He was like, teachers, shut up. Just kidding. Teachers, y'all are the creators of the world. But you know what I mean? Like, just because somebody tells you like, oh, you shouldn't be able to do this. Can you imagine, like, anything that is in this world right now, somebody's had to imagined it and believed in themselves enough to have created it. So as simple as space, going to Mars or whatever, or even from a calculator in your pocket, aka your cell phone, your video recorder, your picture taker, all these different things. At one point, that was just insanity. Like, you were crazy using your imagination, and here we are today. So just thought that was like a quick one hit quitter, or one quitter hitter, however it goes.
Hitter and quitter. One hit a quitter.
So the next one, I guess it's the last one now, but honestly, oh no, it's not. There's, honestly. Okay. So, but they all kind of go hand in hand. The ego, real quick. So when you think of the ego, you think like someone has this big ego, the I or self of any person. Let's see. It's a person's thinking, feeling, willing, and distinguishing itself from the selves of others and objects of its thought. So that's just whenever you're like, oh, he's got a big ego. He just thinks so much of himself, so on and so forth. So that was the biggest thing that tripped me out when I'd hear this and all the manifesting stuff. Like, I didn't understand what they meant by ego. So ego on a manifesting, it kind of has a different definition. It's the part of the psychic apparatus that experiences and reacts to the outside world and thus meditates between the primitive desire or drives of the ID and the demands of the social and physical environment. So basically, when we talk about ego, like you're, the biggest thing is, with us doing the podcast, how come we don't have 100,000 followers right now? Oh, this person does, when they started, they had it done in a month or two or whatever. But that is how you have to tell yourself, oh, that's just my ego talking. Like, my ego is in how I think the universe should deliver what I want to me. So your ego is what the world is telling you should be, and you sitting there and being like, "Oh, well, my ego is telling me I should already be here, 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 and here." And the universe is like, nuh-uh, this is where you're supposed to be. Stop looking at your life in a worldly view. Look at it more in the universal view.
Yep.
So that's not just like being a big-headed ego person. It's like, whoa, shut shit down. Sometimes stuff doesn't happen the way you think it should because everybody else around you, but shut your ego down and just know that you're being taken care of.
Yeah, very, very well put.
Go ahead,
meditation.
And I think it can go in there with hypnosis too, like meditation and hypnosis.
Really, it's continued or extended thought, reflection, and contemplation. So I just got into meditation, and Shelly and I were talking about, certain sleep meditations, and so really, it's when you hear somebody, well, let me meditate on it. Let me give it some thought, and I think meditation really separates you, even if it's for 5-10 minutes. I am no expert by any means. I am just, barely touching.
I still got to use guided meditation because I can't do that myself. I need somebody to tell me how to do it.
Yeah, guided meditation. It's really just getting away from the external world and just becoming one by yourself with your thoughts and just being, forgetting your cell phone, forgetting all the distractions. And there's just so many different, ways in which you can meditate. You can meditate on manifesting a good day. You can meditate on having a solid, positive, good day.
Or it can go the opposite.
Right.
You've had a shit day. It can be like, I'm going to meditate out of my brain all of the cruddy stuff. I just want a clear, conscious, like nice, level-headed mind today. I just want to get out all the crap,
Yeah.
So it can really go both ways. You can use it to meditate on what you desire and what you're asking the universe for, or you can meditate and say, look, today wasn't the best day, but that's okay. I'm going to clear my mind. It's like picking up the house, basically, is what I would say meditation can be too, like picking up your brain house.
Yeah, and I think it's your brain house. I think it's important to spend some time with yourself. I think we are so inundated with so many distractions with our phone, with music, with TV, with Netflix, with this, with that. I think sometimes it's good to step away and give yourself some time to clear your thoughts and de-stress, get clear on what you want, get clear on your vision. And so there's so many different resources. YouTube has some really good guided meditations. There's classes for it. So to me is something that I've started, I haven't really practiced before, but definitely getting into and definitely using it to go to sleep. And when I wake up, when I do a sleep meditation, I just feel restored, renewed.
And they have like 8-hour sleep meditation slash hypnosis.
Yeah.
And so you can do it like the whole 8 hours, and it's like at first it might be some talking, and then it's like some beautiful music. And I was literally telling Jasmine how I did a hypnosis one, which is more of like a hypnosis. It's not like you're gonna walk around and like shave your cat in the middle of the night, because that's what they try and talk you into doing, unless they do. And I don't have a cat, so I don't know. I don't. It's not like it's one of those. Like the hypnosis is more of like helping change your mind. It's like, what does it say? Artificially induced trance state resembling sleep, characterized by heightened susceptibility to suggestion. So you use meditation for like thought and reflection, but you use the hypnosis side to like suggest to your brain, like for me, I haven't been able to get good sleep, or I've just really needed to wake up with energy because I've had like crap for energy. And so I did like a sleep hypnosis, and it's like wake up with energy. So I was like, oh, let's try it. And I told Jasmine, I said, for 2 days in a row, it was the best that I had. And I was like, I don't know if subconsciously. And I'm like, well, obviously subconsciously, because this is what we're trying to do. Subconsciously it works. So they kind of like go hand in hand. Like one is a reflection. The other one helps convince your brain of what you need it to. Like I said, you can look them up on, or Jasmine said, you can look them up on YouTube. And like I said, you can do like 8-hour long ones and you're asleep and you don't even know, like they might, they're like saying like, you are great, you were successful in there, and you're dead asleep and you're subconsciously telling your mind that you can do it. That's when you're most susceptible to stuff, in the morning and at night, like 15 minutes after you wake up and 15 minutes before you go to bed. So.
Right. Well, those are the definitions in a nutshell. If I can make it through the subconscious and I'm not even start. I can make it through anything, and I hope I was an example. But yeah, listen to don't.
Thank you guys for Jasmine is just all garble mouth today, and I love everything about it. But thank you guys for tuning in. Be looking forward to our next podcast on the 21st. Y'all make sure to screenshot this, like our Instagram, like comment on everything. We'd really like to know what anybody else has to say or think, or maybe you have a different interpretation of how we've defined some of this stuff. We just really look forward to engaging with you guys.
Absolutely.
And really just thank you guys for tuning in, and we hope you have a great day. And I guess that's it. We can't cheers because we can't cheers.
I know. Darn.
This is why you have garble mouth, because
this is
it's
why
like a little bit of alcohol would have helped you like not been so nervous. You're like subconscious.
Yeah, that's just goes to show I need mimosas in my system.
Yes, you do. Next time we'll come at y'all with our normal selves. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we will see you back on the 21st.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you once again for tuning in with us on the Middle Child Podcast. Hope that you've been inspired in some way to continue to pursue your every dream and desire. And if nothing else, we hope that it was entertaining and brought a smile to your face. We look forward to hearing from you all, so make sure to screenshot this podcast and tag us to let us know what you think. We know that the universe is there for you, and so are we. Now take your badass self out there and show them what you're made of.